And welcome back to the Paddy Power Sports Network. Let's talk some NBA basketball. Kenny White in the house. Kenny, before we get to Thursday's doubleheader action, let's talk a little bit about live betting. I got to believe that in the NBA, there's a huge opportunity to make some money with Paddy Power and live betting.
Well, NBA is a great sport for live betting because there's such huge momentum swings in the game. You could be up 15 and lose by 15. Plus, in totals, games can start very fast and then slow down at the end. So there's opportunities everywhere in the NBA.
That's a great segue. Speaking of teams losing by 15, the Chicago Bulls traveling to Oklahoma to take on the Thunder. Wow, Thunder 11. We're going to send out 189 as the total. This Bulls team, no Rose, no bueno. They just can't find a way to win basketball games.
Well, the big thing about the Bulls right now, I think two of their best players, Boozer and Deng, I was told earlier today, they're both playing for contracts. They're kind of playing for themselves right now. That's a big disappointment. But Kurt Heinrich has been out with a back injury, a strained back the last two games. He's the backup point guard, averaging 5.2 assists a game. They need him back in the lineup. You'll see a better Bulls team with him in.
All right, they've just made a move for DJ Augustine. They got the youngster from Kentucky playing point guard right now, Teague. But Augustine, you know, ex-Pacer, waived by Toronto. What's he bring to the party?
Still not as good as Heinrich. It's still a drop-off. From Rose to Heinrich, it was a 6-point drop-off, so obviously destroyed their team in the first place. But they were still a playoff team last year without Rose, a team that has a nucleus that can get to the playoffs. But now without Heinrich, it's another 4-point drop-off.
Oklahoma City, 19-4, Kenny, averaging about 106 points per game. You know what you get with this team each and every night, and it looks like they're focused on playing for the #1 seed in the Western Conference.
Well, with Westbrook and Durant, you have two of the best, really 1-2 combo, I think, in the NBA. Durant averaging 28.5 a game, Westbrook 21. He runs the show, and this team loves to get up and down the court. Plus, they have defensive stoppers.
Last year, the Bulls in Oklahoma City lost by 23. You've got the Thunder ranked at the top of your power numbers. I just don't know how the Bulls stay in this game. They just can't score points.
Yeah, especially on the road. The team that struggles offensively. And, again, I got to go back to Kurt Heinrich. He's got to be in the game. Without him, they're averaging less than 80 a game. With him, they can get to 85, close to 90, especially a more up-tempo game. Now, they don't want to go up-tempo, but Oklahoma City is going to try to take them there.
All right, we talked earlier about Derrick Rose, and he is the subject of this week's Stat Attack right here at PaddyPower.com.
Since Derrick Rose went out with his last knee injury, the Chicago Bulls are 2-10 ATS.
And 3-9 straight up, so neither of those numbers very good. Kenny, the Golden State Warriors hosting the San Antonio Spurs. Here we go. The Spurs laying 3, 203. Those numbers almost look identical to the numbers we saw in last year's playoffs.
Well, in particular games, you're right. And this is a great rivalry. The last year's playoff series was tremendous. Golden State captured the second game to go home and have home court advantage, but San Antonio picked it up. They won the series 4-2. And you're right. This line ended up San Antonio -3 on the road in the last game at Golden State.
The Spurs 19-5. Parker a little nicked up right now, but just 12-12 against the number. We talk about this all the time. They're motivated to win, not necessarily cover these big numbers.
Well, Greg Popovich is one coach in the NBA that likes to rest players, and when that happens, he's got some pretty big-time players. And when somebody sits out, like a Parker or a Duncan, or even Leonard now, these guys are worth 3.5, 4 points. Big reason why they don't cover a lot of point spreads. They've been far better on the road this year, though, Pat, than they have been at home.
All right, Golden State, let's call it what it is, 13-12. They were a sexy pick to compete in the Western Conference, but key injury has really hurt this basketball team.
Well, Iguodala being out has really hurt them, I think, right now at a tune of 2.5, 3 points per game. This is a good basketball team. They played a very tough schedule. They will be there in the end. With Thompson and Curry, those are the two best outside shooter tandem guard-wise of anybody in the NBA.
All right, these two teams met a few weeks ago in San Antonio. San Antonio won 76-74. No Curry in that game. Throw that game out. It doesn't even matter. Kenny, who's your pick? Golden State, San Antonio.
Well, it shows you how bad Golden State wanted the game. Even without Curry, battled to a 2-point loss in San Antonio. Golden State wants this game badly. Getting points at home, I think Golden State's the play.
All right, great stuff. As always, from Kenny White, good luck on your selections Thursday in the National Basketball Association. And we'll see you right back here real soon on the Paddy Power Sports Network.